Alright, in our last episode we left off by making our way to Morytania for the first time. We've already unlocked Zeah, so we can travel to Zeah freely, and we have a teleport to get back to Zeah. I do got to be careful with my teleports though, because I need to be able to refill the pages with runes, which I don't have easy access to yet. Now that we're in Morytania, we can't really leave because we don't have a way to get back to Morytania, so I need to do the Ghost Ahoy quest to receive the Ecto file. Now, as you remember, there are quests that I can and cannot do. I believe the Ghost Ahoy quest or another quest in that area require me to leave Morytania, and I am allowed to leave Morytania as long as I'm doing it for a quest. Same with Zeah, I'm allowed to leave Zeah as long as I'm doing it for a quest. The only time I'm not allowed to leave, or I guess, I'm not allowed to leave just in general, but if I'm doing it for a quest, I'm allowed to follow that quest to do it. And I can't start quests outside Morytania or Zeah, but I can start quests within Morytania and Zeah, and then continue to do them until they're completed. And then if the next quest in that series is also located within Morytania or Zeah, then I can start it as well. Or until Raids 3 comes out, I can also do what Raids 3 is. Alright, so when we left off, I had these 3 antique lamps, and I haven't done too much research on really what I want to do with them. I said Hunter. I still think Hunter's the way to go. I believe I can level my rune crafting through the Krend library, even though I really don't need it. There's not much I can really do with rune crafting. I need to get my construction up eventually, but I believe I can do that through planks, and I'm pretty sure there's planks on either Morytania or Zeah, so I'm not too concerned about that. And obviously fire making, wood cutting, all pretty easy. So let's go ahead and put them in Hunter. Let's go ahead and do it right now, because that makes the most sense. I'm not sure how to do early level Hunter anyways, so I might as well get my Hunter levels up while I can. So just like that, we're already 9 Hunter, and I think I need 9 or 13 to do Piscarius favor, so I might have to do some other methods to get it up. But let's leave it at 9 for now, and it'll be close enough if I don't have the high level for Piscarius favor to get going. The only other struggle I'm going to run into is Slayer, but we'll figure that out as we go. I'm not going to start focusing Slayer until I get a little bit more levels. This is my raids only locked Ironman. He can only be in areas where raids are located. The local raid bosses emit powers that keep his strength up. If he ventures too far away, he may die. So he has to stay in areas where raids are located. The goal of this Ironman is to conquer the raid bosses that keep him alive, to hold their armors and weapons. I'm currently locked to just Zeah and Morytania, but who knows what future raids await. Here are the rules to my raids area only Ironman. Where can I play? I can only play in areas where a raid is located. This is currently limited to just Zeah, specifically the Krend and Kabos lowlands, and Morytania. Do note that if new Zeah content is added, we will need to determine if it is part of the Krend or Kabos areas. Also, whenever new raids come out, I will unlock those areas and be allowed to do any prerequisites for those raids. Here are my starting rules. On start, I'm allowed to do quests to get to the areas. These quests include Priest in Peril, Rune Mysteries for Essence for Priest in Peril, Restless Ghost as it locks too much content without, Druidic Ritual as it also locks too much content without, and X marks the spot. Now X marks the spot's not really needed, but it's part of the Zeah lore, so I kind of want to do it, and I don't gain anything from it, so I see no harm in completing it. Once I complete this quest, I will be permanently locked into the raid's areas. Here's one item I've granted myself. It's called the Seal of Passage, and I'm only allowed to use it during quests. The Seal of Passage allows me to leave my designated areas only when on a quest, and only if that quest asks me to venture outside of my designated area. I'm only allowed to start quests within my designated area as well. An example of the Seal of Passage would be during Darkness of Hallow Vale, when I need to speak to King Rold. In these events, I am granted a Seal of Passage which allows me to venture to my quest destination only. I may not divert or do anything other than my specific quest task. For clues, I do hope to complete some clues, and I'm only allowed to do clues in my designated area. Also, I am not granted a seal of passage for clues. A seal of passage is only for quests. And finally, future raids. Whenever Raids 3 comes out, or any other raid, I will unlock that content too, and will be allowed to do any prereqs required to do that new raid, if there are any. Here's the overview of all the rules. And if you're having trouble reading it because of the background, here's a nice, neat rule sheet for you to read. These rules may change in the future, but I think we are all set right now, and if we need to change them, we can always circle back to that. Alright, so we actually ran into our first roadblock of the series. So I need to do Ghost Ahoy, because the Ghost Ahoy gives me the ecto file, and the ecto file will allow me to get back to Morytania. That way I can travel and train between both Zeah and Morytania. First problem though, in order to do Ghost Ahoy, I need level 25 agility. I'm level 1 agility. There's really not a way for me to train agility right now, and I trying to think if I made a mistake by coming to Morytania this early, and if I should just stayed on Zeah training. But I don't think there's even an agility area for me to train over in Krend anyways, so I have to find a way here in Morytania, and I think there are two ways I can train agility that I can think of. Eventually it will be through Canifis, but I don't have that level yet, and so I think I'm going to have to do... there's an agility shortcut here. I don't know how much XP it gives, but I think I'm going to have to suffer to get 25 agility right here, maybe even 40 for a Canifis course. I might be able to do temple trekking, but my levels just aren't there for temple trekking, and I really want to get the teleport into Morytania so I can start traveling between my cities. I really don't want to be in Morytania, stuck here for longer than I have to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the grotto and hopefully be able to start gaining some agility experience there. I don't know how long it's going to take to get 25 there, but I'll be back once I do the calculations. Mortmire is a dangerous ghost-infested swamp. All players must see Drizzle. I don't think this is going to limit me from getting into the swamp. I don't remember, but I really hope it doesn't. Okay, so for me to get through the fence, I had to start the quest Nature Spirit. That's not really an issue, because it's a pretty good quest to do, and I had to do it eventually anyways. The one problem, though, it does require me to get a silver sickle, which requires 18 crafting, but it also requires a silver bar and a sickle mold. Now, I can't get silver right now because I don't have the levels for it, and I'm pretty sure there is... Whoops. I'm pretty sure there's silver over on Krend, so I have to wait until I can get back over to Krend to mine it, and then travel back to Morytania, and then I gotta find a way to get the mold as well. I really hope there's one over here. I don't know if there's one over here or not. I'll figure that out. But I can't do this quest, at least not for this episode, or not until I actually have a way to travel between the two raid area cities. So for now, we'll get most of it done. I'll focus on it a little bit, but it's not a priority. Today's episode and all that, it's going to be about completing Ghost Ahoy and getting the ecto file so that we can travel to Morytania. And also have a one-click teleport, because I'm still hardcore and I don't want to lose that anytime soon. But mostly I do want to get back, have a teleport back. And then I need to focus on, again, the runes for my Crest Memoirs, because I don't want to get stuck in any one area and not be able to teleport between the two. But I'm on my way down to the grotto, which is quest part anyway, so it really does work out. I have it on the XP, but I know it's going to take a while. 25 is not too high though. I'm not too concerned about 25. I just know it's not going to be done anytime soon. Alright, so I am trying to jump this bridge, but there might be another issue here. I can't jump it. I fail every jump. Is there a requirement for this? I really hope there's not. I don't know how else I'm supposed to get agility XP otherwise. I mean, if I have to do temple trekking, that's gonna really, really screw up our plans because then. Okay, there's one. 15 XP. Okay. Okay, this is gonna be tough. I don't have the food either. I only had 100 cakes. So this is gonna be something we need to think about. But I need to get the levels. I have to get the levels. Otherwise my next resort is to do the quest for Meredith. And that's gonna take much longer to get ready for than it would be for the other ones. So I'll be back when I figure out a plan. Maybe I'll be back when I get some agility levels. We'll figure this one out. Alright, there is 10 agility. Just 15 more levels to go until we hit 25. So 10 agility, I'm at 1,163 XP. 25 is at 7,842 XP. So I need about 6,600 more XP to go to get to 25 agility. Now I still fail a lot, so I don't know how much longer it's going to take. If I were to pass the jump every time, it would take me about 445 more jumps, which doesn't sound like it's so bad, but as I fail a lot, it's going to take a lot more than that. I'll probably be doing this for about 2,000 more attempts, because I fail a majority of my jumps. As I get higher levels, I have strung a lot of successes together. When I was level 8 agility, I got 7 in a row, but I haven't had that in a while, and the best I've had since that's 3 in a row, so I don't know, it's going to take some time. I'm definitely going to run out of food. I have about 10 cakes left in my bank. I don't know how. I'm going to have to do some food runs. I don't know the best method to get food here, but the gas keep, taking the food, so I can't bring like good food. And the cakes are good and all, but the highest a fail can hit is a 7, so I don't know, this is going to take a lot of time. I'm going to estimate about 2 to 3 hours doing this, but it's obviously not going to happen this round because I'm running out of food, and I'm going to do a food run. So I'll be back when I run out of food and let you know what my current level is and what my food plans are. Alright, I'm actually pretty annoyed with myself right now. So we're already at 12 agility, and we're making our way to 25 to get the requirements for Ghost Ahoy, but I really should have read through more than just this screen. I actually should have looked at the wiki, because if we pull up the wiki, we can see all the other requirements. I have most of them. A lot of them aren't too hard. Getting the Ecto tokens, can easily get. Not an issue. Go Speak Amulet, got that. 400 coins, easy. Bucket of milk. I don't think I can get the bucket of milk while I'm over here in Morytania. I think I have to go back to Zeah to get that. So that's an issue. Silk, got that. Dye, well, I'm going to skip that until later. I'll explain why. Spade, I have. Oak longbow, I don't have that. I don't know if I can get that during the quest, but I know I don't have it now. I'm pretty sure there's an archery shop on Zeah where I could get it again, but I gotta go back to Zeah. I don't have a way to get back to Morytania. Knife, needle, thread, easily can get that during the quest. Bucket of slime during the quest. Nettle tea, that's a hard one, but I can make it. There's nettles in Canifis and bowl of water you get during the quest, right? Super easy. But I'm stuck here. Can't get the longbow. Can't get the bucket of milk. Now the dye, I don't know how to do this one. Monsters don't drop dye, and you can only buy dye in the Elfin Lands. And Aggie the Witch and Drainer makes dye, both of which are not in my areas for raids. It's possible that there's an elf raid in the future. You can also make dyes in the desert, which could also be a possible raid area, but right now it's not. And so the question for everyone here watching is, how do we want to treat this? Do we want to use the Seal of Passage to allow me to use dye, or do we not want to let that go and hold out for a desert or Elven or Drainer raid that could or could not ever happen. I mean, if I were to also make the dyes, I would also need to get the ingredients, right? So I think red requires 2 onions. I can get onions from Zeah. I think blue requires woad leaves. I don't know how to get those other than Falador. And then yellow is a mix of some other colors, which again would require me to go out and get the supplies for. So if I get the supplies, can I go off to Aggie and get that created? That's something I want to get your opinion on. I don't know yet. That's something I have to think about. And because of that, I think I have to hold off on doing this quest. I don't think I can do Ghost Ahoy without breaking some rules for the dye at least, and then also because I just don't have the bucket of milk or oak longbow. Fortunately, there is another quest we can do. It's not the greatest. It's definitely an in-between kind of quest for now, but it's going to be Shades of Morton. So if I do Shades of Morton, which is pretty easy, all I got to do is 15 herb lore, which is going to be pretty tough to get, but still, yeah, it's not that bad. I don't know how to do herb lore here though, so it's going to be a tough research. And then 20 crafting. I don't have an idea on that one either, but they're both low levels, and then I should be able to defend myself against a level 40 foe. And what Shades of Morton will unlock is the Shades of Morton teleport. So I can't use it now because I haven't completed the quest. But once I complete the quest, I will be able to use that Shades of Morton teleport. And then it's every 20 minutes I can use it, but at least it'll get me here and there. And then eventually I will want to be using the Arceus teleports. Once I get to 40 magic, I will be able to use the spell to teleport to the South Graveyard, and then at 48, the Frankenstein Castle teleport. But those also require soul runes, and I looked up how to get soul runes, and I got to be killing like level 99 monsters, and for someone with level 25 combat, it's going to be tough. What I'm saying is, it's going to be a while before I can easily travel between Canifis and Morytania and Zeah. It's not. What I was hoping was I can just get the ectophile and go back and forth pretty quickly, but that becomes also an issue because you need souls to recharge your crest memoirs anyway. So that was never going to be a thing. So I might actually be trapped in Morytania for a while. I got really playing this one out. I might be stuck in Morytania for a few episodes, to be honest. I might be here for a few episodes while I get my stats up, do some quests, make my way back to Zeah, or I'm going to be stuck on Zeah for a few episodes, maybe more, while I get my levels up, my combat levels, and more my stats up and actually be able to bank. So I don't think I'm going to be traveling back and forth like I want to for at least 4 to 5 more episodes. I was really hoping to be able to do it at the end of this episode, get Ghost Ahoy done, but then we had that agility roadblock and the agility grind. Now we're going to have that herblore grind instead and the crafting grind, and then we're stuck in Morytania for a while. I mean, I can go back and forth, but I can't be wasting my teleports because I don't have a way to get soul runes. So that's where we are now. I think I'm going to focus on Shades of Morton instead. I'm probably going to get a couple more agility levels throughout the episode or the next few episodes just because I do want to have a high agility, and eventually I am going to hopefully be able to do Ghost Ahoy. It really depends what we decide on the die part. But yeah, that's the new plan. I don't want to change plans too much, but that is the new plan going forward. We are going to do Shades of Morton instead. Hopefully I can do it, but we'll see. We'll see for now. Alright, and I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I know we didn't get a lot done in terms of skills and levels and quests, but I think we did get a lot done in terms of game plan for the future of this account. And speaking of which, I actually did a little bit more research between now and my previous clip, and I do believe that I can actually teleport right now. I'm not going to, but I believe I can teleport right now back to the Kingdom of Karend. And I think I'm going to do that because there I can level up my stats. Early game in Morytania is actually pretty challenging. For me to do Shades of Morton, I need to have 15 Herblore. That's incredibly hard to do over in Morytania because I have to kill monsters to get Eyes of Newt. There's no shop that actually sells the Eye of Newt over here. And then I also have to kill for herbs, which isn't too difficult, but if I can't make the attack potion because I don't have the other ingredients, it's going to make it that much harder. And then crafting, I think crafting is actually pretty easy over here because I could do the charter ships. And yes, I have checked to see if there's a charter ship over on Zeah, and no, there's not. So I can't charter ship between the two. But I did some research, and over on Zeah, there is a maze shop. There's two maze shops, which is kind of funny because in this maze shop over here, I believe the easternmost one actually sells soul runes, and I believe the one to the general store sells the Eyes of Newt. This magic shop up here doesn't sell really anything. I don't even think there's anyone there to trade that I could find. But these two shops right here actually sell everything I need for early game Herblore and magic. So I can get those soul runes that I said I couldn't earlier. I can actually get those pretty good deal in these two shops, which is great because then I can charge my crest memoirs to get back to Zeah. Now, there's only a few ways I can get back to Morytania, as we've discussed. There's, of course, the ectophile, which requires Ghost Ahoy. Can't do that right now. There's the Shades of Morton teleport, mini game teleport, but it requires the completion of Shades of Morton, which requires 15 Herblore and 20 crafting. That I can do, but I don't have the levels yet, so I'm going to hold off that. And the other one would be the Case of Hope for this teleport, but I also need a lot of quests and levels to do that. So really, I'm stuck with the Shades of Morton. Again, it's going to take me ages to get Herblore, but I know I was talking about this earlier. I can use the Arceus Salve Graveyard level 40, or the level 48 Thinkenstrains Castle teleport, or even later down the road, the Barrows at 83. These also require soul runes, and I have to be on the Arceus spellbook. Really not that hard to get Arceus favored to get the spellbook, so I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about, or what I was worried about, was if Shades of Morton requires me to be on any spellbook other than, or be on the normal spellbook, and it does not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport back to Zeah. I'm going to level up there. A lot easier to level up early game there. And then I'm going to focus a lot on getting my magic to 40, so I can do the Salve Graveyard teleport. And then I'm going to get 100%, or at least 75, or whatever it is, Arceus House Favor. Might as well get 100. So I have a spellbook, and then that way I can actually teleport back and forth. And I'm going to focus as well on Herblore, and I don't know the fast way to training crafting, but worst case scenario, I can always come back and do Charter Ship. And then I can focus on Shades of Morton as my secondary teleport. So that's the game plan for this episode, or for the end of this episode, and on to the next episode. I'm going to travel back to Zeah using my Crest Memoirs, and then I'm going to train Magic and get Arceus House Favor as well as Herblore in crafting if possible. So those are what we're going to do in the next episode, and I hope to see you guys there.